What if the simple act of boarding a plane to the United States could change your life? Or ruin it? What if you spent years saving, dreaming, preparing to visit or move to the US, only to be turned away at the airport without ever stepping foot outside customs? In 2025, that's not just possible, it's happening every single day, thanks to a massive overhaul of the immigration system led by President Donald Trump. Yes, he's back. Traveling to the United States has become a whole new battlefield. From sweeping executive orders to surprise airport interrogations, the new rules are brutal, unforgiving, and if you're not ready, downright humiliating. Let's begin with the executive bombshell that started it all. Executive Order 14,159. With a name as dramatic as protecting the American people against invasion, this wasn't just a law. It was a statement. This piece of paper gave immigration officers the power to remove individuals instantly, without court hearings, without long investigations. Just a hunch or suspicion was enough. Before, this kind of rapid deportation only applied near the US borders. Now, it applies everywhere. LAX, JFK, Atlanta, Chicago. You could be snatched up straight from the customs desk and sent packing before you've even unpacked your toothbrush. And it's not just about illegals anymore. Tourists, students, and business travelers with valid visas are finding themselves in a mess if they say the wrong thing or look even slightly suspicious. Officers are watching everything: how you walk, how you talk, how confident you seem, and whether your story adds up. One shaky answer, one inconsistent document, and it's over. Next came the Lack and Riley Act. This was Trump's not-so-gentle way of saying no second chances. This law allows Immigration and Customs Enforcement, IIS, to detain any undocumented immigrant, not convicted, just charged, with crimes like theft or assault. And what qualifies as a serious crime now seems to include just about anything that makes the headlines. The states even got a new toy: the right to sue the Department of Homeland Security if they feel immigration laws aren't being enforced properly. This is no longer a coordinated system. It's a nationwide competition to see who can deport faster. Trump's return also meant a death sentence for sanctuary cities, those once safe havens that provided protection for undocumented immigrants. Gone. Federal funding cut off. Mayors and governors who once proudly declared their cities welcoming and inclusive are now staring at dry budgets and rising deportation orders. And Trump isn't just talking about laws, he's adding muscle. Thousands of new immigration enforcement agents were hired under a zero hesitation, zero sympathy campaign. Their job is not to help you understand the rules. Their job is to find reasons to deport you. If all that wasn't enough, say hello to the new and improved Guantanamo Bay, now the Migrant Operations Center. No longer just a name associated with terrorists, it's been remodeled into a high-sensitivity detention center for up to 30,000 migrants, labeled as high risk. No formal charges, no trial, just suspicion, and a one-way ticket to indefinite detention. Legal aid? Good luck. Human rights? Ask someone else. But if you've got deep pockets, well, Trump's America has a velvet rope for you. Enter the Gold Card Visa, announced in February 2025. If you can drop $5 million into the US economy, you're welcomed like royalty. You skip the endless visa lines, avoid the interrogations, and you don't have to explain why you want to live in the US. Your bank account already answered the question. This program replaces the old EB-5 visa with stricter checks but faster approvals. Money talks louder than anything else. Let's talk real-world travel in 2025. Imagine stepping off your 14-hour flight, bleary-eyed, excited to start your new journey. And suddenly, you're pulled aside. It's vibes. Students face a gauntlet of questions that feel more like a job interview than a visa check. Why did you pick that university? What's your major? Who's paying for this? Will you go home after graduation? Or are you planning to conveniently forget your return ticket? Say the wrong thing, even with a smile, and you're out. Tourists face the same fate. Where are you staying? Who invited you? Do you own property back home? Are your parents still alive? Have you ever heard of that weird cafe in Queens? Okay, not the last one, but the rest are fair game. They want proof, documents, hotel bookings, return tickets. If your plans seem too vague, welcome to the blacklist. For those coming on a work visa, the questions dig deeper than ever. Where exactly are you working? What's your salary? Can you prove you have a job waiting for you? They might even ask for your LinkedIn. It's 2025. Stalking isn't creepy, it's immigration policy. Now, here's the real kicker. Having a visa does not guarantee entry. That little sticker in your passport, it just gets you on the plane. The final decision rests with one person at the port of entry. They can cancel your visa on the spot and stick you on the next flight out. No judge, no appeal, no explanation needed. So, why are so many travelers getting deported at the gate? Because they made one tiny mistake. They lied. They brought fake documents. They acted nervous. They had a criminal record back home, maybe a DUI or a bar fight from college. Or maybe they just looked like they didn't belong. In 2025, immigration officers are trained to spot red flags. Sometimes that flag is in your folder. Sometimes it's in your eyes. Biometric screening has gone full sci-fi. Fingerprints, facial recognition, retinal scans, and surprise interviews are all part of the new normal. Some travelers are asked to show bank statements to prove they can afford their stay. Yes, you read that right. Your vacation now requires a financial audit. Denied entry? You're either placed under expedited removal, slapped with a 5-year ban, or, if you're lucky, allowed to withdraw your application voluntarily. Sounds gentle, right? It's not. It's still a scar on your immigration record. So how do you survive this madness? First, don't lie, not even a little. Don't say you're here to sightsee if you're planning to freelance on the side. Don't say you're staying with a cousin if you just met them on Instagram. Every word counts. Every word is checked. Next, bring all your documents, real ones. If you're a student, carry your acceptance letter, your I-20 form, and proof of finances. Tourists, show your bookings, itinerary, and proof you're going back. Workers, employment letters, pay stubs, and ID cards better be in your bag. Be confident, not cocky. Speak clearly. Answer questions directly. This is not the time to tell stories about your grandma's cooking or your dream of seeing Niagara Falls. Stick to the script. And above all, understand your visa. Don't suggest you'll be looking for work on a tourist visa. Don't talk about staying permanently if you're on a student visa. Immigration officers are not therapists. They're not here to understand your dreams. They're here to see if you're following the rules. Random secondary inspections are common now. It doesn't mean you're in trouble. But if you react badly, if you argue, panic, or start crying, you'll only make it worse. In Trump's 2025 America, emotional breakdowns are not on the list of accepted excuses. The sad reality? America's doors are still open, but only if you walk in exactly the way they want you to. There's no more bending the rules, no more hoping someone at the desk is having a good day. This is a system designed to weed people out, not welcome them in. Yet millions still succeed. Millions still enter, study, work, live, and build a future in the US. But they do it by playing the game right, by being prepared, by being smarter than the system. 2025 isn't the end of the American dream, but it sure is a test. A test of your patience, a test of your honesty, and sometimes a test of your luck. Because in this new era, one small misstep means the end of your journey. As 2025 rolls forward, the line between border security and national theater has blurred beyond recognition. At this point, immigration is less about documentation and more about surviving a psychological game show hosted by a border officer with the power of a medieval king. The second you step off that plane, you're not a visitor anymore. You're a contestant in the Great American Entry Gauntlet, where the prize is stepping out of the airport and the punishment is a one-way flight back to wherever you came from, plus a 5-year ban for the cherry on top. And you better believe they're not playing fair. In 2025, the drama doesn't begin at the immigration desk. It starts with your social media. That's right, agents are now running behavioral analysis software on your Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and even that old Facebook account you forgot existed. If you've ever joked about moving to America, shared a meme about immigration, or, God forbid, used the Statue of Liberty emoji, congratulations, you just triggered a digital red flag. Welcome to the algorithmic no-fly list. But it doesn't stop there. Now there's talk about something called the Intent Forecasting System, rolled out as part of the Department of Homeland Surveillance. I mean security's latest innovation. This AI-powered monstrosity scans your travel history, financial data, messaging apps, and even food delivery services to predict whether you intend to stay illegally. If you ordered takeout in Florida back in 2018 and never posted a goodbye selfie, they're coming for you. It's like Minority Report, but instead of Tom Cruise, you get Officer Rodriguez asking why you ordered falafel 2 days after your visa expired. Oh, and let's not forget the biometric checkpoints. Every major airport now has what they call smart gates. These aren't just metal detectors with a fancy name. These babies scan your face, analyze your blink rate, and calculate your sweat ratio to determine if you're at risk. Did your palms sweat because you're nervous from a 15-hour flight? Too bad. You're officially suspicious. Step to the side, please. Take a seat in the Freedom Lounge and wait 3 hours for someone to question your life choices. Now let's talk about the mysterious Freedom Binders. Everyone entering the US seems to have one now. It's a 100-page folder filled with every conceivable piece of personal information: proof of employment, birth certificates, graduation photos, receipts from last month's groceries, anything that screams, "I swear I'm going back home." If you don't have one, you're practically begging for deportation. One traveler recently tried to enter without showing his aunt's dental x-rays as proof of familial ties. He's currently living in an airport hotel in Doha, waiting for his embassy to figure out what went wrong. But here's where things get truly mind-blowing. Under the No Loose Ends Clause, an unofficial nickname for a clause buried deep inside Executive Order 1404, border officers are now authorized to search your luggage for books. Yes, books. If you're carrying literature that appears politically sensitive, radically progressive, or, heaven forbid, written in another language, you might be pulled aside for ideological vetting. One unlucky tourist from Canada was detained for bringing in a French copy of Les Miserables. Apparently, that was too revolutionary for comfort. And don't get smug if you're rich. Sure, the Gold Card visa program may sound like a cheat code. Invest $5 million in the US economy and glide through immigration like royalty. But they've added a twist. The money has to be patriotically spent. That means your investment must directly support American values. No donations to left-leaning nonprofits, no funding immigrant shelters. You want that visa? You better be opening a gun shop in Texas or a chain of diners that only play country music. If you're a student, God help you. International students are now treated like potential sleeper agents. Your university will spy on you, your landlord will report you if you're ever late on rent, and your classmates are incentivized to snitch if you ever express dissatisfaction with America. Just last week, a Nigerian grad student was denied re-entry because he posted, "America is stressful" during finals week. Apparently, the Department of Homeland Security didn't find that funny. Let's not even talk about re-entry. If you leave the US during your studies to visit home, you now have to apply for something called repatriation clearance. It's a new program where the US government decides if you're worthy of coming back to finish your degree. The form is 42 pages long. One of the questions literally asks, "Do you love America? Explain in detail." And you better not skip that answer. One-word responses are an automatic red flag. Now, there's a rising phenomenon known as airport purgatory. It's not an official term, but that's what travelers are calling the new 72-hour holding zones at airports like JFK, LAX, and Miami. If your case is even slightly complicated, you'll be held in these brightly lit, camera-filled rooms with nothing but vending machines and reruns of Fox and Friends on the TV. People are emerging from these rooms spiritually broken, promising never to question authority again. Meanwhile, asylum seekers are facing something even stranger: remote justice. This is the Trump administration's brainchild, an immigration hearing conducted via hologram. Picture this. You're in a tent city on the US-Mexico border, facing a judge projected on a screen with a translator glitching every 5 seconds. Your fate decided by a pixelated voice that can't even pronounce your name right. It's like trying to win your freedom on a broken Zoom call. You may be wondering, is there hope? A loophole? A way to game the system? Well, some people are trying the love hack. That's right, they're rushing to fall in love with US citizens and get married before deportation. But guess what? The Trump administration saw that coming. Now, immigration officers conduct relationship drills. These are spontaneous interviews where both partners are grilled separately, about everything from your partner's shoe size to what they ate last Tuesday. Fail even one answer and you'll be accused of entering into a fraudulent romantic arrangement, which sounds like a terrible Netflix documentary. Even babies aren't safe anymore. Birthright citizenship under fire. The new birth loyalty test is making headlines. According to insiders, newborns must now be sworn in via a ceremonial crying session while wrapped in an American flag blanket. It sounds ridiculous, because it is, but that's where we are. If you're a tourist, don't relax yet. Your photos are being analyzed. That selfie with the Grand Canyon? They're using AI to determine if your smile is genuine or if you're pretending to love America. One man was flagged because his face looked insufficiently enthusiastic while visiting the Lincoln Memorial. He now has to attend a 6-month patriotism workshop before applying for another visa. Let's not ignore the private contractors. Immigration enforcement is no longer just the government's job. In 2025, Trump's administration handed out billions in contracts to private security firms to assist with border screening. These companies include former mall cops, ex-military turned influencers, and one guy who used to run a laser tag arena. They're now equipped with real guns and real authority to decide who enters the country. Some even wear GoPros to record their greatest hits at the airport. And then there's the wall. Yes, the wall. Remember that thing from 2016? It's back, but this time, it's digital. The invisible wall is a biometric, data-driven surveillance system that extends into cyberspace. It follows you even after you get the visa. If you sneeze too hard in the wrong direction, they know. If you overstay by 2 hours, they'll knock on your door before your soup cools. You're not entering a country anymore. You're entering a giant Wi-Fi Mabel watchtower. In a hilarious twist, 2025 also introduced the Loyalty Pledge app. Before boarding a flight to America, you must now download an app and record yourself reciting a pledge of allegiance to constitutional values and the American way of life. Miss a word? Mumble? Say it with an accent? You'll get flagged and required to attend a loyalty language lab before reapplying.